Life is the master guru. It can prescribe situations, man, that will bring out, you can say, our insecurities or our unconsciousness and arrogance and ego in a way that nothing else can, via real life situations. It'll touch things and bring stuff up that there's no sadhana or meditation or guru human form that can give you. If you're sitting in an apartment building and bombs are going off and you're watching out your window, it's like this apartment just got blew up. You're like, damn, John lives there. And then they're going off everywhere. And you're like, yeah, what? That's the question. What are you going to do? You don't know. You don't know until that moment. But I can tell you one thing for sure you're not going to do is say, oh, there's an appearance of bombs going off, but there's really no bomb, and there's nobody here to even get bombed. Yeah, you're not going to say that. You're going to find out. You're going to life can play in so many different forms. That was just one illustration. It can come strong, man, in a very extenuating circumstance that is prescribed, tailor-made for you. Through sickness, through death of loved ones, through, you know, the illustration I gave at the beginning, just all kinds of different ways, all kinds of things. I was talking to Fred. He does satsang, non-dual guy. I like him because he's older. You see, he's like 60 something, and he had back surgery. And he was in the hospital, and he could feel, like many who go to the hospital sometimes, the doctors didn't really understand him. They don't understand like his problem. And the treatment they were giving him gave him so much pain. And then on top of that, the pills that you got to take was exacerbating this. And like, just being totally alone, your life in somebody else's, other people's hands who have no idea, like you can't explain to them. You may not even be in a state to where you can even explain because you're under this treatment and, you know, maybe anesthesia. You can't even communicate. But even if you could, they're not on the frequency to understand. That was a trying situation, and I respected him because, yeah, he didn't just non-dual that away. He's like, whoa, this was challenging. Same like Jesus would say. You think if Jesus, I'm making a video about if Jesus was here, probably nobody would recognize him. But do you think somebody, some reporter was there when he was getting nailed to the cross? Like, do you know, like, you're aware of just your pure self, right? Like, this don't hurt. What do you think he's gonna say? So that's why if it's easy, I've done this too, when I was 20 or in my 20s or whatever. It's easy when life's going good. Oh man, everything's just easy. You have a healthy body, nervous system strong. You haven't hit your prime yet, so the life force is still, it's growing. Like the life force is super strong when we're younger because God made it that way. And you have money, maybe you have a trust fund baby. So you have like everything that's just easy. It's easy. It's real easy then to say, wow, this is everything. It's just bliss. Like God is so beautiful. There's just only like, can't you guys see? So much love. Because they don't know yet. Like they don't know what life can do. Life can rock us, man, in such a way that, look, it's good though. It's grace, a really intense form of acid grace. Some higher part of ourself wanted to experience that somehow because it drives you to your depth. I've said it before. We made some contract. We want to uproot like the deepest levels of unconsciousness and ego. We need some life situation to do that though. Something that just rocks us to our core. rocks us physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, all that combined into one. There's some super intense life situations. I was thinking about that. I'm like, yeah, most people, because there's 8 billion people in the world, so most people just don't know. There's so many things happening, but we just don't know. The planet's too big, it's too many people. People only know their little small little circle, their little vicinity of people, and they don't know, man. I mean, watching the news is one thing, but being in it, that's a whole nother deal. So, what's the title? Oh, Life Can Humble You in 1 Second. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I remember I got pulled over. I was 16, and I didn't know my license was even suspended. And then, and I told the cop that. He says, ignorance is no excuse for breaking the law. So, okay. And then he took me to jail. I was feeling good. I was with my buddy. We were in the car talking and doing something, I don't know, and maybe looking for girls. I don't remember. And then cop pulls me over and then puts the handcuffs on, says, you're going to jail. Yeah, something shifted inside. And then actually going to the jail and then having the guy come up to me and say, you're my bitch. You don't talk to nobody. That's what he said. I didn't really believe him. I didn't sense danger in him. Like, you can tell with certain people. Like, if they're the real deal, they wouldn't even say that. But he was kind of just showing out, you know. I was like, okay. But still, I was like, okay, this is where I am. Did I share before the story? I was in the shower, and the guy came in with the, you can make weapons out of anything, because you have an inmate card, and he like shaved the corner of it, so it was really sharp. And he came in when I was taking a shower, and he's like, you got to pay me for protection. I said, really, from who? He said, from me. And then he cut me. No, but before he did, when he said from me, I laughed. You got to pay me for protection. From who? From me. And I like thought he was, you know, I don't know, it was just funny. Isn't it? And then he saw me laugh, and then he cut me and he walked out. Anyway, this situation, there's more stories about that in there. That was life really giving me a tailor-made life situation that it showed me some insecurities I didn't know I had. You know, it's easy to watch TV, you watch MMA, and you're like, yeah, I can do that. I'll just take out everybody. Yeah, okay. So a lot of us, because we can't help it, it's the strong trance of ego. We we think we're, oh man, it's everything's a dichotomy. I was gonna say, like, we think we're on a higher level than we actually are. At the same time, sometimes we think we're at a lower level than we already are. I made a video about that on my semen retention channel, that you're always on a higher level than you think you are. But now I'm saying the opposite, because it can be true, depending. Complacency is super easy. The subtle spiritual arrogance, man, it's so easy for it to come in. This is why some beings, God keeps, he'll keep some challenge in somebody. There's certain health issues and elements, man, they're not going to go away for some people. It's not in the destiny for them to go away. You can travel the world, have the best treatments, and it's not going to go away. God can show you maybe how to make it a little better and make it manageable, but it's almost like some higher part wants to keep that as some inner Zen stick to smack when we get out of line. Because usually, particularly those who have any kind of mental health imbalances or nervous system disorders, those people really feel the pain of being out of inner alignment much easier than your average person who doesn't have those issues. So it's almost, you see how everything's grace? It's just all grace. It doesn't matter if the mind can comprehend that or if it feels good or not. That doesn't matter. God doesn't care about oh, his feelings are hurt. Yeah, he doesn't care about that. I'm making a video about that too. It's about self-realization on the deepest level. And a lot of these things real self-realization on the deepest level can't be had without some really strong extenuating circumstance. Now, does that mean, am I saying like if you never had a really hard time your spirituality's BS? No, I'm not saying that either. We can't see the strain of lifetimes of what we went through, but you can always tell vibrationally. For someone who is in touch with their depth, you can tell vibrationally when a person's going off about peace, love, bliss, love, light, and all this stuff. You can tell though. You're like, they're just talking, man. They're exaggerating, they're maybe feeling a little serenity and making it in, glamorizing it. You can just tell. Like, I don't know what else to say. You can tell. All right, let me know how you like that video. You can leave any comments you have on the questions. I'll try to get to them, and I do consultations. My email is on the banner. I'll talk to you later.